Not long after we finally paid off the last of our car loan, I stumbled across something disgusting, my wife's Reddit post. It started with her calling me a pathetic, spineless loser who'd never accomplish anything. She wrote that every smile and compliment she gave me was just an act. She even wondered aloud on a public forum how much further she'd have to fall before cheating on me with a real man. I didn't yell. I didn't confront her. I just snapped a screenshot, read through her laughing replies, and shut the tab without a word. I kept my mouth shut, kept my face calm, and quietly started mapping out a plan. Not for revenge in the movie sense, but something that would hit her just as hard. Last night, my phone was blowing up with thoughts. Maybe this is just me venting. Maybe I just need to know if anyone else has ever seen something this twisted. Honestly, I'm still kind of shaking, and I don't even know if that's from straight-up rage or just pure disbelief at how fake someone you live with can be for years. If anyone ever needed proof, yeah, I've got screenshots. I'm not about to post them, though. This isn't about airing it out for clout. I just need to get this out. So here it goes. Last Friday, we made the final payment on our car loan. It was a big moment for us. We'd been chipping away at it for almost 7 years. We even toasted at home with a half-full bottle of old Prosecco she found buried in the back of the fridge. But there was something off about her that night. I remember thinking, why does she look so relieved? Not happy. Not excited. Just like some invisible weight was finally off her shoulders. She kept grabbing her phone, texting someone nonstop, barely looked me in the eye. I asked if she wanted to go out and celebrate. Maybe dinner, a drink, something. She just kind of shrugged and said she was too tired. So we stayed in. I ended up watching YouTube alone in the living room. She went to bed early without another word. But then, the next morning, it was like nothing ever happened. She made coffee, left my mug right where I like it, started rambling about how we should maybe get new furniture for the living room, like we need that, and was flipping through Pinterest showing me paint swatches. I figured maybe she really was just tired the night before, but the feeling in my gut never went away. She kept giggling at her phone like a teenager. Every time I glanced over, she'd close the screen or say it was just some dumb meme, then plug it back in like it was no big deal. Now normally I wouldn't care, but she's never been the type to keep her screen hidden from me. That's when I started getting this weird knot in my stomach. Let me back up a little. Vanessa, my wife, and I didn't meet the typical way. We met while volunteering in Louisiana after a hurricane hit. She was there with a church group. I was just tagging along with some friends. My dad grew up down there, so it felt personal. We ended up working on the same house for almost 2 weeks straight. Honestly, that was the easiest we ever clicked. She's always been the type who likes to take charge, rally people together, be the one who makes the plan and keeps everything organized. That's always been her style. She needs to be in the middle of everything. Me? I'm more of a head down, get it done kind of guy. Over time, that difference turned into this weird dynamic. She's always got an opinion, and I'm just supposed to nod and go, sure, sounds good. It got way worse during the pandemic. She started making little digs in front of our friends. Jokes at my expense. About how I wasn't ambitious. About how I was just Nolan. First, I'd laugh it off. But then she started saying stuff like, Nolan wouldn't know what to do with a promotion if it slapped him in the face. The kind of thing that stings, but if you call her out, you're the one who looks too sensitive. So you let it go. Then came Sunday. I went to grab her laptop since mine was dead. She's always borrowing mine anyway. She was outside chatting with her sister, so I didn't think twice. I opened the lid and boom, her Reddit was still logged in. First thing I see? A post titled, Married to a Pathetic, Spineless Loser. He'll never amount to anything. Didn't even click right away that it was hers. Then I noticed the username. It was definitely hers. No doubt. I clicked on it. And there it was, everything. A whole post dragging me through the mud. I just sat there. Didn't say a word. Just started taking screenshots. Even snapped a couple extra pictures with my phone. Just in case. She came back inside all cheerful, asking if I wanted to order takeout like nothing was wrong. I said, sure, whatever you want. She barely looked up from her phone. I went to the bathroom, locked the door, and just stood there, staring at my screen for what felt like forever. I scrolled through every post, every comment. It wasn't just that she was talking trash. She was putting on a whole performance like she was starring in some show for these random strangers online. And none of it, not a single word, mentioned anything I actually do for her or for us. According to her, I'm just dead weight. Her third child, she called me. We don't even have kids, so what the hell is that supposed to mean? I started thinking back to all the times she'd say, why don't you ever stand up for yourself? Or, you never take the lead. But the minute I try to plan something, she'd either shoot it down or just change the plans herself at the last second. Her mom treats her dad the exact same way, to be honest. So maybe she learned it at home. I used to think it was just stress. Or her being high-strung. Now I know it's control. Plain and simple. She wants to feel like she's steering the ship. And when I don't fight her for the wheel, she sees that as weakness. She's even said in front of her friends that she needs a challenge. I always figured she was being sarcastic. She wasn't. She's smart, too. She can sniff out a lie in seconds. So of course she kept all this garbage confined to Reddit. No Instagram posts. No texts I could stumble across. But she slipped up and left the page open. I guess she figured I'd never notice. Because, Nolan doesn't pay attention, right? I didn't say a thing. Not then. I played it cool. Chatted like normal. Did the dishes. Even brought home her favorite ice cream like some clueless fool. Later, she asked if I wanted to watch a show together. I said yeah and sat on the couch next to her. She kept going on about how nice it was to just relax together, saying stuff like, some couples just don't understand each other like we do. I almost laughed out loud, it was so fake. That night, she tried to cuddle up in bed. I told her I was hot and needed a little space. She didn't argue, which is rare for her. She just rolled over and went to sleep. I stayed up the whole night, just thinking. Not about what I could have done better. Not about where I went wrong. But about how to make her feel what I've been feeling. Not just embarrassed. I mean truly exposed. Because I'm done being the idiot in her fake little performance. I'm not gonna scream or flip a table, that's what she'd expect me to do. She thinks I'm too soft to hit back where it really counts. She's got it all wrong. I spent most of Monday playing it cool, acting like nothing had changed. As soon as she left for her yoga class, I pulled out my phone and opened up the Notes app. I started writing a list, item by item, of every single thing that matters to her. Her tight-knit group of friends. The perfect reputation she's curated. The image of being organized and on top of everything. Her precious money. Her close bond with her family. Every last detail. I'm not just gonna disappear and let her paint me as the bad guy. I want her to feel it. To watch the carefully stacked tower she built start to teeter. Next time she smirks, it's not gonna be because of me. She came home later and picked a fight about the trash not being taken out. I just looked at her and said, I'll get to it later. She stood there waiting for me to cave or apologize like usual, but I didn't flinch. After a few seconds, she slammed the door and left again to run some errands. I stayed right there at the table, staring down at my phone, steady as ever. I'm not brushing this under the rug. Not this time. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I haven't told anyone. Not my parents. Not a single friend. No one knows. I've just been playing the part. Pretending we're still the same smiling couple we've always shown to the world. Update 1. Alright, so here's the next chapter in this mess. What I'm doing now. Yeah, it's probably not what most people would recommend. But honestly, I don't care. I've reached that point where you stop asking what's right and just start doing what feels right. Even if it gets a little ugly. So no, I didn't explode that night. There wasn't some huge dramatic showdown. No screaming match. Nothing like that. I just started watching. Really watching. Noticing all the little things she said and did. Like that Sunday morning she was talking to her mom on speaker. I walked into the room and suddenly she clammed up. Then, all smiley, she said, oh hey. Didn't even hear you come in. Her mom asked if I was making breakfast and she says, no, Nolan never makes breakfast. He just waits around for me to feed him. Which is complete crap. But I didn't argue. I just stepped outside. That's always been her act with her family, making it look like she's burdened with this helpless man-child. I used to think it was just a bit. Now I know she says it to make herself feel superior. Her mom's always gone on about men being useless, so I guess it's their little inside joke. And I let that slide for way too long. So I stopped. I stopped doing all the little thoughtful things I used to do. No more filling her gas tank when I used her car. No more running to get her dry cleaning. I didn't even clean out the fridge when it started smelling like something had died in there. She definitely noticed. At first, it came out as snide comments. Oh, I guess the dishes won't get done unless I ask. Huh? And I just replied, looks that way. But the thing that really got under her skin? Money. She's obsessed with finances, budgeting, tracking every cent. So I opened a new checking account, rerouted my direct deposit, and left just enough in our joint account to cover half the mortgage. That's it. Just my half. No more. A few days later, she texted me at work. Hey, did you forget to send over the utility money? I responded, nope, just splitting things from now on. Simpler that way. When she got home, she gave me this look. Like she wanted to blow up but didn't want to look like a lunatic. The next week, she had her usual group chat with her best friends, Jenna, Tasha, and Brielle. They're always gossiping about everyone else's drama like it's sport. Vanessa had been going on and on about this Vegas trip for months. All-out plans, spa day, bottle service, the works. So I just dropped a message in the group chat. Hey, I can't make it. Work's been crazy. Y'all go have fun. That was it. She stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door behind her. What the hell, Nolan? You said you were going. I looked at her and said, plans change. She shoved me. Not hard. More like she wanted to get a rise out of me. I didn't budge. Just said, you got what you wanted. Do what you want. After that, she started to unravel a bit. She forgot to RSVP to her cousin's wedding and blamed me for not reminding her. Her mom called to ask why she sounded so frazzled, and Vanessa just exploded. Said I'd been difficult lately. Then her mom called me directly. That never happens. Is everything okay over there? She asked. Vanessa seems off. I replied, maybe ask her. She didn't like that answer. Her friends started poking around too. Tasha showed up with a bottle of wine, trying to sniff out if we were fighting. I just shrugged and said, could be. She didn't look surprised, just uncomfortable. I think they've always liked having dirt to gossip about. Vanessa's stories made them feel better about their own relationships, probably. Jenna texted me later, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. I left it on read. Meanwhile, I started slowly moving my stuff. Just the things that mattered to me, my record collection, a few favorite hoodies, some old shoes. Packed them in boxes and stacked them in the garage. She noticed, asked me straight up, are you planning on leaving? I replied, depends. She slapped me. I didn't react. She stormed out and didn't come back for hours. After that, she kept trying to have one of her heart-to-hearts, those long-winded let's communicate speeches. I stonewalled her. She used to say I was too passive. Fine, I'll show her what real passive looks like. She's used to controlling every little thing. So now I let her try to control a situation that doesn't move. And it's driving her nuts. She started screaming in the kitchen. One night she even threw a mug at the wall. I just cleaned up the pieces and went to bed. But it's not about being cold. This is calculated. I want her to feel stressed in the places that matter to her most. So I started shaking the foundation of her little social kingdom. She's always been the planner of our friend group. The hostess. The one who keeps everything running smooth. So next time we had people over, I did nothing. No cleaning. No grocery run. No music playlist. People showed up to a messy house with cheap snacks and awkward silence. She was scrambling to fix everything last minute. Later, she asked me why I didn't help. I just shrugged. She cried in the bathroom. I didn't go check on her. Even her parents started noticing. Her dad, who's never called me in his life, picked up the phone and asked, are you cheating or something? I said, nope. He asked, then what's going on? I told him, I'm just tired. Tired of what? Tired of pretending. He went quiet and hung up. A few days later, her mom sent me this long text, basically a novel, accusing me of letting Vanessa spiral. I didn't respond. I started documenting everything, not just the Reddit stuff. Every time she snapped at me, every time she guilt-tripped me, I wrote it all down. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but it helps just knowing it's there. She always acts like she's on the moral high ground, but she can't even see how cruel she's been. She thinks love means breaking someone down just so she can be the one to build them back up again. Well, I'm done with that. The worst part? She's now trying to flip the script. Get me to apologize for things I never even did. Like she'll say, you never appreciate me. You never thank me. You never do anything spontaneous, she said. I replied, you don't either. That hit a nerve. She smacked my arm hard and barked, grow up. So I walked out. Didn't even say another word. Got in the car and just drove around for about an hour, no real destination. Just wanted to breathe. I sent her a text, I'll be back when I feel like it. She didn't respond. Even her friends started pulling away after that. Brielle messaged me saying she was worried about Vanessa. I texted back, you're not the only one. Then Tasha told me Vanessa had been going around saying I was emotionally distant. That maybe I was depressed. I didn't argue. I just posted a vague update on my own account. Feeling fine. Just done with drama. Didn't say more than that, but people picked up on it. I stopped running interference with my family too. My mom asked if Vanessa would be at Sunday lunch. I said, ask her. I'm not her babysitter. My dad looked like he wanted to say something but held back. Later that night, he texted me, proud of you for standing up for yourself. That was the first kind word I'd heard in what felt like forever. In the days that followed, she started to unravel even more. She kept asking if I wanted to talk, if we should see a therapist, if I was cheating. I told her, nope. You're not that lucky. Then she shoved me again, harder this time. I said, you touch me again and we're done. That made her back off. She slammed the bathroom door and cried loud enough for the entire neighborhood to hear. I wasn't sure what reaction she expected. That I beg? That I'd apologize for making her cry? But I was past caring. I wanted her to see the truth, that the only power she ever had over me was the power I let her have. Now she's on her own. Her bills. Her friends. Her family. It's all on her now. And I'm just sitting back, watching her try to juggle it all while everything starts to fall apart. She has no clue what's coming. And just to be clear, I still haven't told anyone the real reason behind all of this. I haven't shown a soul the Reddit post. Not yet. I'm saving that card. Letting her sweat it out. Wondering if I'm going to expose everything or keep stonewalling her into emotional silence. But I can see it, she's cracking. More and more each day. She's smart, sure. But she knows something's off and it's killing her that she can't prove it. Not yet. I'll post another update when the next domino falls. Trust me, I'm just warming up. Update 2. So yeah, here's the update that literally nobody in my real life asked for, but I'm giving it anyway. A few of you said I should have just left, but honestly, I needed her to feel every ounce of what she dished out. She's always played the role of the smartest person in the room. The one in control. The one who manages the narrative. Turns out she's not so composed when someone starts pushing back. It began with these weird attempts at being nice. One morning, she made coffee and left it by my phone like it was some grand gesture of peace. I just said thanks and walked away. She spent the next half hour following me around the house, trying to strike up conversation. What's going on with us? Are you okay? Can we talk? I kept it short. I'm good. I'm busy. I'm tired. She can't stand it when she can't get a reaction out of me. Later that week, she brought up counseling again. I wanted to laugh. I told her, don't think that's necessary. She gave me this look like she expected a different answer. Do you even care about this marriage? I shrugged. I care about not being lied to. She blinked, caught off guard. She thought I was being dramatic, probably. But something changed. She started working harder, like she was scrambling to patch something she didn't understand how to fix. That's when she started rallying the troops. Her mom called me, concerned. Said Vanessa had been crying a lot. Asked if I was depressed. I said nope. Just tired of being treated like a background character in someone else's story. Her mom got real quiet. Then suggested I talk to Vanessa more. I didn't argue. Just let her talk, then hung up. That weekend, Vanessa arranged this normal dinner with her family, her parents, her sister, and us. Like it was just another happy night. But every time someone asked a basic question, how's work? How's the house? She'd jump in and answer for me. Her dad looked irritated. Her sister never looked up from her phone. Midway through the meal, she leaned toward me and whispered, can you at least pretend to care? I looked her in the eye and said, I'm done pretending. After dinner, her mom pulled me aside. You're not being fair, she said. Vanessa's trying. I said, you should read what she posts about me online. Her face changed immediately. She mumbled something about how everyone needs to vent sometimes. I nearly laughed in her face. Then Vanessa came out of the bathroom, saw us talking, and stormed over. She shoved me. Again. I stepped back. Calmly said, you're making yourself look bad. She yelled, stop trying to embarrass me. I said, that's all you. She started shouting right there in the driveway. Her dad stepped in and told her to lower her voice. She slammed the car door and we rode home in dead silence. The next day, she tried a new tactic. She messaged her last 2 loyal friends, Tasha and Jenna, and told them I changed overnight, that she didn't know what to do. Tasha texted me, clearly digging for my side of the story. I just replied, ask Vanessa. She seems to know everything. Next thing I know, Vanessa's all over me at home. Following me from room to room, not saying much, just hovering. I went out to mow the lawn and she stood in the driveway like a statue, just staring. Later that night, she tried to talk again. I looked her dead in the face and said, I don't want to talk to someone who calls me pathetic on the internet. She went pale. Then slapped me. I stood up and said, you do that again and I'm gone. For good. She stormed off into the bedroom and slammed the door. I could hear her pacing and talking on the phone, probably to Brielle or Tasha or someone else still willing to pick up. I didn't care. I took a shower. Made a sandwich. Watched Netflix on my phone out in the garage. Next morning, she was up early, hair done, dressed like she was heading to a photo shoot, and started frantically cleaning the entire house. All the while muttering about how some people don't appreciate effort. I ignored her. She called her mom and got into a screaming match about boundaries and respect, right there in the kitchen. Whatever her mom said must have hit a nerve, because after she hung up, she walked into the room bawling her eyes out. Loud, messy, ugly crying. I just scrolled through my phone like she wasn't there. I'm done with the role of the emotional janitor. Then came the big move. I took a screenshot of the original Reddit post, the one where she dragged me, and sent it to her mom and her best friend. No caption. No explanation. Just the screenshot. Then I turned off my phone and went for a walk. When I got back, she was waiting at the door. Shaking. Phone in hand. What did you do? She demanded. I said, just sent the truth. She freaked. Screaming, trying to grab my phone. I brushed past her and walked into the garage. She followed, shoved me again. I didn't even look at her. Her phone kept going off. Call after call. Her mom. Her sister. Their group chat. She stood there sobbing, saying I misunderstood her post. I said, those are your words. Own them. She slapped my arm. I looked at her and said, touch me again, and I walk out that door forever. She backed off and locked herself in the bathroom. Not long after, her friends started flooding my inbox with texts asking what the hell was going on. I sent the same screenshot of her Reddit post to both Tasha and Brielle. Brielle didn't respond, just left me on read. Tasha replied with a simple, I'm sorry. You could tell they were stunned, but honestly, I didn't care anymore. Her mom called again. I let it ring. Her dad sent me a message saying he was disappointed in both of us. Whatever, man. That night, Vanessa tried to act like nothing had happened. Came into the living room all chipper, suggested ordering pizza, putting on some goofy show, sitting together on the couch. I looked at her and said, I'm not interested in pretending. She broke down crying again, said she never really meant what she wrote. I told her to stop lying and walked out of the room. She followed me and tried to block the doorway. I kept moving, pushed past her without a word. She slapped my back as I walked away. Next day, she started talking about fairness and splitting the bills properly. I said, already taken care of. She blinked and asked, wait, you're serious? I said, I've been serious. She snapped, hurled her phone onto the couch, stomped into the bedroom, and slammed the door like a teenager. Then her family group chat started lighting up. Her mom sent me a long wall of text asking, how could you do this to her? I answered with just one line, this is who she is. Not my problem. Her sister actually called me first time in forever and said, I always thought something felt off about her, but this is a lot. I said, it's your family. You figure it out. By the end of that week, Vanessa had cycled through every play in the book, crying, yelling, guilt-tripping, acting normal, even calling my parents. My mom didn't answer. Told me later she nearly posted her side on Facebook just to shut Vanessa up. I told her, go for it. Just don't forget to post the screenshots too. At that point, I started sleeping in the spare room and told Vanessa I'd be moving my stuff out soon. She tried one last grand gesture. Made dinner. Set the table. Wore the dress she knows I used to love. I sat down, ate in silence, said thanks, and walked out the front door for a drive. I think that's when it finally hit her I wasn't playing anymore. She doesn't get to rewrite the story this time. Doesn't get to paint herself as the victim. She wants a real man? She can go chase one down. I'm done being the punchline. And something tells me next week is gonna be chaos. Final update. So yeah, this'll probably be the last time I talk about this train wreck, because honestly, I can't even look at her face anymore without feeling disgusted. Not gonna lie, I didn't sleep last night. But it wasn't because I was sad or heartbroken or anything like that. I just couldn't deal with the noise, her voice, her crying, the endless back and forth. I don't think I've ever been this emotionally finished with someone before. It all came to a head yesterday afternoon. She was pacing the house like a trapped cat. One minute she was deep cleaning the counters, the next she was just scrolling aimlessly at the kitchen table, sneaking glances at me every few seconds like she was waiting for me to say something. At one point she called from down the hall, so you're really not gonna talk to me? I replied, what's left to say? She didn't answer. Just disappeared back into the bedroom. Closer to dinner, she made a dish she only ever pulls out when she wants something, some kind of peace-offering pasta. I sat, ate half, said thanks, and got up. She trailed me into the living room, arms crossed, standing in front of the TV. Are you ever going to get over yourself? She asked. I looked her dead in the eye. You've got a lot of nerve asking me that after what you posted. She tried flipping the narrative again. Said everyone was turning on her and that I was making it worse by sharing things. I said nope. You did this all on your own. She lost it again. Slapped my shoulder and started yelling. I stood up and said, keep your hands off me. She went silent for a second, then stormed into the bedroom and slammed the door. I could hear her sobbing on the phone with her mom, ranting about how I was ruining her life. That was it for me. I packed a duffel bag with clothes, grabbed my charger and earbuds, and walked out the front door. Didn't say a thing? Drove straight to my brother's place. And for the first time, I told him everything. Showed him the screenshots, laid it all out. He didn't even look shocked. Just said, should have done this a long time ago, man. I turned off my phone for a few hours. When I powered it back on, I had something like 7 missed calls, Vanessa, her mom, her sister, even Tasha and Brielle blowing up my notifications. A bunch of texts too, some begging me to come back, some cussing me out. Her mom tried calling my mom. My mom just texted me, only pick up if you want to. You don't owe them anything. I didn't pick up. Vanessa sent 12 messages back to back. Full caps. You're abandoning me. You're the problem. You need help. I'm sorry. Please come home. Then she swung right back to, I can't believe you're doing this. Her sister tried to guilt trip me. Said, you're tearing this family apart. You need to fix it. Left her on read. Around midnight, another round of calls came in. I flipped my phone over, plugged in my earbuds, and just drowned it all out with dumb TikTok videos until I passed out. Next morning, my brother made coffee. Handed me a mug and said, you're not going back, right? I shook my head. The fallout today was a mess. I haven't called a lawyer yet, but I'm not stupid. I took photos of everything. Sorted my bank accounts. Started moving the rest of my stuff out. I texted her, said I'd swing by to get my things when she wasn't home. She fired back with a massive wall of text, half threats, half fake apologies, and started calling again. I turned my phone off until it was over. She tried to spin it like I owed her a final conversation, that I was destroying her reputation and everything she'd worked for. I said, you torched all of that on your own. She cried again. Said, you don't know what I've been through. I looked her in the eye and said, you made your choices. Now deal with the consequences. She slammed the door. Wouldn't even look at me after that. While I was boxing up the last of my stuff, one of her friends came over. Tasha. Said I should at least talk to Vanessa. I said, ask her why she posted all that garbage in the first place. Brielle was there too. She looked like she wanted to say something, then didn't. Just shook her head. I walked out. Didn't look back. Right now, I'm crashing at my brother's place while I figure out what's next. My parents offered, but I'm not about to move back home at 37. And honestly, I don't feel bad for her. She had chance after chance to come clean, to take responsibility, and she chose to double down every time. She trashed me for years and thought she could smooth it over with a few tears and home-cooked meals. Some people will say I should have taken the high road, that I should have forgiven her. Let it go. But I wanted her to feel it. Her whole world was built on image, her friends, her family, this perfect life she paraded around. Now it's all cracked and crumbling. And here's the wild part, I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just done. It's like I finally stepped off a stage I never wanted to be on in the first place. I don't know what the future holds, but I know it doesn't include her. She can spin whatever story she wants online. Post whatever sad version makes her feel better. But the people who matter? They know the truth. If you're ever stuck wondering whether it's worth standing up for yourself, even if it gets messy, listen, I don't have all the answers. But for me? Yeah, it was worth it. I'm not saying I'm some kind of hero. I'm just tired of being treated like a doormat. That's it. And if she keeps blowing up my phone, I'll block her. I don't need that drama in my life anymore. So if you see some guy moving boxes out of a house while his pissed off ex glares from the window, yeah, that's probably me. And I'll take awkward over fake any damn day. I'm done. With her. With all of it.